I'm Yap Woo-yong, and I am the process engineer of Acetone Malaysia. Our plant is producing acetone as the main product. So acetone is an organic compound with a chemical formula of C3H6O. It is the simplest and most important ketone. The other name for acetone is 2-propanone, propanone, dimethyl ketone, dimethyl formaldehyde, and beta-ketopropane. Acetone is a colorless, volatile, flammable liquid with mildly pungent, somewhat aromatic odor. It is miscible in all proportions with water and most organic compounds or solvents. Acetone is formed by a 3-carbon chain which has 2 of the hydrogen atoms from the second carbon atom being substituted by an oxygen atom double bound with the second carbon atom. So the geometry of the acetone is triangular planar because there's no unshared pairs of electrons on the central carbon atom and 3 other atoms attached to it. The central carbon atom shares a double bond with the oxygen atom and a single bond with the other 2 carbon atoms. The other 2 carbon atoms share 3 single bond with 3 hydrogen atoms, and the methyl group has a tetrahedral geometry. So acetone is a polar molecule. So first, there is a double bond between the central carbon atom and the oxygen atom. The oxygen has 2 unshared electron pairs, which makes the end of the molecule highly negative. The bond between the central carbon atom to the other carbon atom are single, and these carbon atoms both have bonds with 3 hydrogen atoms, which cause it to have a positive charge. The uneven distribution of the charges throughout the molecule makes acetone molecule to be polar. Global acetone product usage can be characterized into 4 sectors and by applications. The largest product usage of acetone is to be used as a solvent, which contributing about 33% of the global acetone consumption. The advantage of acetone to be used as a solvent is basically due to 2 main reasons. The first is the high solvency and the second, high evaporation rate. The 5 common acetone solvent uses by industry are as follows. The first acetone solvent uses is the cosmetic industry. Fingernail polish remover is one of the most common acetone solvent uses. It thoroughly cleans the nail and leave it exceptionally dry, which prepare it to bound quite strongly with the next layer of polish. Acetone is also used as a solvent for other cosmetic products like makeup and skin creams. The second industry is the pharmaceutical industry. Acetone is ideal for blending fillers and active ingredients that comprise pharmaceuticals in pills and liquid form. Without acetone, some pills would be harder to compact to the correct density and partially dissolve, causing the active pharmaceutical ingredients could literally make one pill stronger than the other. So acetone can be absolutely essential in the efficiency of a medication. For the third industry is the textile industry, where the dilution of acetone is commonly used in the textile industry to remove gums, oils, and other undesirable substances from the fiber of the raw textile like silk and wool. For the fourth industry is the electronic industry. Acetone is used as a solvent for many electronics cleaners. For the fifth is during the disaster response. During oil spill cleanup, acetone can dissolve oil slush, breaking it up and make it flow away instead of stubbornly staying stuck in a place. The advantage of acetone compared to other chemical compounds, it is non-toxicity to humans and the environment. The second largest product usage of acetone is to be used as a chemical intermediate in the industrial synthesis of bisphenol A or BPA, which account for 28% of the world acetone consumption. Bisphenol A or BPA is a starting material for the synthesis of plastics, primarily polycarbonates, epoxy resins, and some polysulfones and polyurethane. The synthesis involves the condensation of acetone with phenol, as introduced by Russian scientist Danin in 1891, and the reaction is catalyzed by strong acids such as hydrochloric acids in the past, but now a more environmentally friendly solid cation exchange resin is used. Industrially, a large excess of phenol approximately a ratio of 3 to 30 compared to 1 portion of acetone is used to ensure full condensation. The third largest product usage of acetone is to be used as the chemical intermediate in the industry synthesis of methyl methacrylate or MMA, which account for 25% of the world acetone consumption. MMA is a monomer for large-scale production of polymethyl methacrylate, PMMA. PMMA is an acrylic glass, a transparent thermoplastic which is used as a lightweight or shattered-resistant alternative to glass. MMA is manufactured by several methods, with the acetone cyanohydrines ACH route introduced by ICI to be the principal one. The MMA synthesis reaction using ACH route begins with the initial conversion of acetone to ACH by the reaction with hydrogen cyanide. The ACH is hydrolyzed in the presence of sulfuric acid to a sulfate ester of methacrylamide. The sulfate ester is then undergo methanolysis or the reaction with methanol to yield MMA and ammonium bisulfate. The remaining 14% of the global acetone usage is contributed by other purposes like aldochemical. For the economic analysis of acetone, let's begin the discussion with the global supply of the acetone. As of 2011, the global acetone production reached 6.67 million tons, and by the end of 2017, the global acetone production reached 8.44 million tons. The worldwide supply of acetone is expected to remain till 2024 before increasing steadily at an average annual rate of 4%. For the major players operating in the global acetone market, the largest acetone producer in the world is Ineos Phenol, which originated from Switzerland, with a production capacity of total of 1160 kilotons, followed by Royal Dutch Shell, the Netherlands company, with 366 kilotons. Cepsa Chemical Shanghai, a collaboration of Spain and China country, contribute 150 kilotons, and the other major players of the global acetone market are Formasa Chemicals and Fiber Corporation, Honeywell International, and Camho P&B Chemicals. For the global demand of acetone, the acetone consumption globally was 7.4 million tons in 2014 and was approximately 7.7 million tons in 2015. The global acetone market is expected to witness growth to register a CAGR of 5%, reaching 11.6 million tons by the end of 2026. The global acetone market consists of 5 regions: the Asia Pacific, Europe, Latin America, North America, and Middle East and Africa. So Asia Pacific is predicted to grow with the highest CAGR due to the expanding paint and clothing and the construction industry, rising middle class population, and increasing expenditure on improving the living standards. The global acetone market is generally contributed by 3 major sectors, which are the solvent, bisphenol A, BPA, and methyl methacrylate, MMA production. And the global acetone industry is mainly driven by the solvent sector. In 2016, 42% of the global demand for solvent come from the Northeast Asia. The global solvent demand will continue to grow at a rate of 3.7% to 2021 and reaching a CAGR of 5.3% from the forecast period to 2026. While for the PBA sector, 23.5% of the revenue share of the global acetone market came from it, and it is estimated to grow at a rate of 3.3% per year due to the polycarbonate demand. While the MMA sector contributed 28.3% in 2014 and anticipated to further increase by 2020, so our plant is expected to be completely built up and start operating in 2024. So by that time, the demand of acetone is expected to be 10.5 billion tons, while the market can only supply 8.5 million tons of acetone. It refers to a shortage of about 2 million tons. So the Petrochemical Shanghai is a newly founded company in Asia, which is a collaboration of two big companies in acetone industry. So its production capacity is referred where half of its production capacity, equivalent to 75 kilotons, are taken to be the capacity of our plant, because our plant is newly established and do not have huge investment model as for Petrochemical Shanghai. So the proposed production capacity of our plant covers 3.75% of the global acetone shortage by 2024. So the production capacity of our plant is 75 kilotons per year, with the plant operating for 350 days per year. So the production capacity of acetone is 8,930 kilogram per hour. There are several commercially practiced chemical processes in the acetone production, with three the most common one, which is the cumene process, oxidation process of propylene, and catalytic dehydrogenation of isopropanol. So the first process is the cumene process or hook process. Approximately 83% of the acetone is produced through this cumene process nowadays. It can be said that acetone production is closely tied to the phenol production. In this process, benzene is alkylated with propylene to produce cumene at a temperature of 160 to 240 degrees Celsius at a pressure of 35 bars. This reaction is largely exothermic with the use of various acid catalysts, but now most of the plant they use the more efficient zeolite catalyst instead. So the cumene is then oxidized in the liquid phase to cumene hydroperoxide, CHP, which will be cleaved in the presence of sulfuric acid to produce phenol and acetone at a pressure of 700 kilopascal and temperature between 80 to 120 degrees Celsius. This reaction is exothermic with a heat of reaction of negative 117 kilojoule per mole. Second chemical process commonly used is the catalytic dehydrogenation of isopropanol. So this reaction can be classified based on two different operations, which is the vapor phase operation and the liquid phase operation. Vapor phase operation is more commonly used compared to liquid phase operation due to its much lower reaction time. And the catalytic dehydrogenation of isopropanol occurs at 2 bars and 350 degrees Celsius in the presence of solid catalyst of copper, nickel, or zinc. Side reaction of condensation reaction to diisopropyl ether and dehydration to propylene can also occur to a small extent. And this reaction is an endothermic reaction with a standard heat of reaction of 62.9 kJ per mole. The third most common production process of acetone is the catalytic oxidation of propylene. So this oxidation technique is applied to propylene in the presence of palladium chloride and copper chloride, which this process is initially developed for the manufacture of acetaldehyde from Italy. The propylene oxidation is an exothermic reaction with standard heat of reaction of negative 255 kJ per mole, and it takes place at 90 to 120 degrees Celsius and 9 to 12 bars. Among the three commercial chemical reaction routes in the acetone production discussed above, the catalytic dehydrogenation of isopropanol is chosen for our plant. The cumene process is most common worldwide, but it generates too many byproducts, and this will lower the purity of the acetone produced and increase the production cost by separation because we need more or extra separation equipment. At the same time, acetone produced through cumene process will contain aromatic impurities like cumene and benzene, and thus the acetone produced by this way cannot be used for pharmaceutical applications. The acetone produced from propylene or isopropanol is free from these aromatic compounds, particularly the benzene. So for this reason, the acetone produced by them is favored by the pharmaceutical industry. The catalytic oxidation of propylene requires high purity of reactants, which is about 99%. So this will increase the production cost and is relatively less economical feasible. In the catalytic dehydrogenation of isopropanol, high purity acetone, which is about 99.9%, is obtained with high conversion of acetone, and no substances significantly hazardous to health are produced during the reaction. So at the same time, the reaction also produces a very valuable secondary product, which is the hydrogen gas. So this gas is commonly used in the ammonia synthesis, refinery process, coal treatment, and so on. So in this, we chose the catalytic dehydrogenation of isopropanol to be the most suitable chemical production route for the acetone production. In our plant, the catalytic dehydrogenation of isopropanol would take place where two side reactions will occur simultaneously, which is a condensation reaction of isopropanol to diisopropyl ether and a dehydration reaction of isopropanol to propylene. The reaction takes place at a temperature of 350 degrees Celsius and a pressure of 2 bars. This is an endothermic reaction with standard heat of 62.9 kJ per mole. A molten salt stream is used as a heat source for the endothermic reaction. The catalyst involved is the solid catalyst of copper, zinc, or nickel, but instead, copper catalyst is chosen in our plant due to its relatively lower price compared to the other two. So, since the reaction takes place at 350 degrees Celsius and 2 bars, so from a literature review, we found that the conversion of the isopropanol in catalytic dehydrogenation reaction is about 87.8%. Selectivity of the diisopropyl ether is 0.006 mole per mole of acetone, and the selectivity of propylene is 0.13 mole per mole of acetone. The byproduct produced during the acetone production include hydrogen gas from a desired reaction of catalytic dehydrogenation, diisopropyl ether from the condensation reaction of isopropanol, and propylene from the dehydration reaction of isopropanol. Let's continue with the acetone production process description in our plant. The feed used in our plant is the isopropanol feed, which is an azeotropic mixture of isopropanol and water at 88% of isopropanol at 25 degrees Celsius and 1 bar. The feed will be then pumped to the feed vaporizer to be vaporized and superheated to 235 degrees Celsius and 2.2 bars. The superheated vapor will be sent to a plug flow reactor to form acetone by catalytic dehydrogenation process in the presence of solid copper catalyst. The plug flow reactor is the most suitable reactor because it is suitable to be used for large-scale, fast, and continuous reaction at high temperatures. It offers high conversion per unit volume, low operating labor costs, and efficient heat transfer. The operation pressure of the reactor is 2 bars and the operating temperature of the reactor is 350 degrees Celsius. The conversion at this temperature and pressure is 87.8%. The reactor exit pressure is 1.9 bars. The reaction is endothermic with heat being supplied by the circulating stream of the hot molten salt. Fired heater heats the molten salt that provides heat to the reactor, which is supplied by the combustion of methane. The molten salt enters the fired heater at 360 degrees Celsius and leaves the heater at 410 degrees Celsius. The heat capacity of the molten salt is 1.56 joule per gram per Kelvin. The reactor effluent consisting of vapor mixture of unreacted isopropanol, acetone, water, hydrogen, diisopropyl ether, and propylene will be cooled and partially condensed in the cooler. The exit pressure is at pressure below 1.6 bars and temperature below 50 degrees Celsius, achieving by using cooling water. The stream consists of liquid mixture of isopropanol, acetone, water, and diisopropyl ether, and a vapor mixture of hydrogen and propylene. The stream will be enter the phase separator to disengage the vapor and liquid effluent from the cooler. The vapor leaving the separator is scrubbed with water fed at 3 bars and 30 degrees Celsius in acetone scrubber to recover the additional acetone. The scrubber operates at the same temperature and pressure as the phase separator. All hydrogens and propylene in the feed will leave the scrubber in stream 11. The liquid from a scrubber will combine with the liquid from separator to enter a light gas separator at a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. In light gas separator, the stream is flashed to a temperature of 90 degrees Celsius and a pressure of 1.4 bars, such that most of the water and isopropanol with some of the acetone and diisopropyl ether will form a liquid phase. The vapor phase from the light gas separator consists of most of the acetone and diisopropyl ether with some of the water and isopropanol. This vapor stream exiting from the light gas separator is at a temperature and a pressure of light gas separator, and the stream is separated in the acetone separator at a temperature of 109 degrees Celsius and a pressure of 1.4 bars, such that pure acetone will leave as one stream, the main product stream, with 99.9% purity. The other stream from the acetone separator is considered as a waste stream. The liquid phase from the light gas separator is also considered as a second waste stream in our plant.
Okay, let's continue with the environmental issue, material handling and storage of acetone. So in this section, we're going to discuss the environmental issue of acetone first. So under the Clean Air Act, the United States Environmental Protection Agency, US EPA, has determined that acetone has negligible ground level ozone forming property and exempted it from some air pollution regulation. US EPA also removed acetone from toxic release inventory, TRI. Acetone has a slight toxicity when exposed to aquatic life. Acetone has caused membrane damage, a decrease in size, and a decrease in germination of various agricultural plants. Acetone is not expected to bioaccumulate in plants, animals, or humans. Acetone is mainly emitted to air. It can move from atmosphere into the water and soil by rain and snow. It can quickly volatilize back into the air. Acetone is also capable of moving into the groundwater from spill and landfill, where it can be degraded within days. Acetone evaporates rapidly, even from water and soil. Once in the atmosphere, it has a 22-day half-life and is degraded by UV light through photolysis. Consumption by microorganisms contribute to a dissipation of acetone in soil, animal, and waterways. For the storage condition of acetone, acetone must be kept in original container with a tight fitting lid in a cool, dry, dark, and well-ventilated area away from heat sources, direct sunlight, or possible sources of ignition, sparks or flame, and incompatible material. Acetone vapor can be ignited by flames or sparks. Therefore, a well-ventilated chemical storage building must be utilized, and the storage area has to be ventilated at floor level and must be fireproof. An automatic sprinkler system have to be provided in the area. The storage area should have no electrical outlet, stoves, and heat producing source because acetone is highly flammable and can be ignited from a distance. Acetone container has to be kept tightly closed and sealed again until ready for the next use. The incompatible material like strong bases, strong acids, oxidizing agent, reducing agent, halogens, and amines have to be kept away from acetone. Storage temperature has to be around 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, and a suitable packaging material includes steel, stainless steel, carbon steel, aluminium, iron, copper, nickel, bronze, and glass. Synthetic material should be avoided. For the material handling of acetone, personnel must use safety glass, safety shoes, gloves, and a hard hat when handling acetone. If protective equipment or clothing becomes contaminated with acetone, all equipment and clothing have to be washed before use or thrown away. The acetone waste should not be discharged into the drain. The compressed air should not be used for pumping over. Spark or explosion-proof appliances and lighting system have to be used. Precaution against electrostatic charges need to be taken. Heat and ignition source or sparks have to be kept away from acetone. Prolonged and repeated contact with skin should be avoided. Eating, drinking, or smoking is not allowed when using acetone. Hand and other exposed area need to be washed or cleaned with mouth soap before eating, drinking, or smoking, and when leaving work. To dispose of liquid acetone, acetone need to be taken to a hazardous waste treatment, storage, disposal or recycling facility, TSDR, drop-off site, or contact with a TSDR to pick it from the area. That's all the useful information for the acetone production. Thank you for your patience and have a nice day.